Alright, now with sort of a classic ramp, I guess you could say, is we generally start it just before the pop. So I'm going to start it just about, so I'm just scrolling through with these controls, just before the pop. Now we can see we've got a keyframe at the start and the end, and this is kind of important because we need to keep our time continuous. I'll try to explain that a bit better later, but just don't delete those, don't freak out. We've got our keyframes there, and we're going to want to put another keyframe right before the pop. So to put another keyframe, we just click this, add or remove keyframe at current time. So I'm going to add one, and then we're going to scroll through to where we want it to stop, where we're going to go back to normal time or stop ramping, which is classically, generally sort of on the land. I like it on the land because you get the sound kicks back in, so it's like wah. But that's just me again. So now we're going to put another keyframe. So now we've got 4 keyframes in total. So we've got those 2. Now the next thing we want to do is go back into our composition settings. So composition settings, and then see, here's our duration. It perfectly matches the clip. But that's a bit claustrophobic. We want a bit of room to work. So I'm just going to check this up to like 17 or 15 seconds. It doesn't really matter, but just so we get a bit more room, now we can use this zoomer to zoom out. So yeah, see, now there's our clip, our 4 keyframes. We've got a lot of black at the end, good room to work. Now what we want to do is we're going to select these back 2 keyframes. So click one, be careful not to move it around, don't click until it move because that'll screw us up. So just click and then shift click that one. See, I think I moved that. Oh no, I didn't. I control Z. Whoops, I'll just redo. Yep, so there's a composition. So click, shift click that one. And then now we want to click on them and grab them both and drag them backwards. So we're dragging them back. Now what this has done is this part of the footage from there to there is in our normal time, but this keyframe and this keyframe have stretched out time. So this part's going to be from there to there is going to be in slow motion. So now we can preview that back with this RAM preview button. So that's just our normal slow-mo again, but oh, our clip cut short. Now that's, don't worry, but that's I'm just being dramatic. But anyway, our end of a clip is there because we stretched the time here. So now the real end of our clip is back here. So we can just extend that out back to get that back. So now we've got our classic slow-mo again. We click on one of these keyframes. This is the fun part, guys. We click on this keyframe and we want to go into this thing called Graph Editor. Now, hopefully, I can explain how this represents time. When we're up here, see how it says 1 second per second? That means we're traveling at neutral time, just normal. So we're going in normal motion. Then, whoa, what happens down here? We drop off a cliff and we're going at 40%, or around 0.4 of the time we were before. So it's like 40% speed. And then, whoa, we jump back up a cliff. So that represents, our jerky starts, like it jerks into slow motion and then jerks back out. Now, to do a ramp, it's so simple. Like, once you get your head around it, or you can do a million in like a second. So all you have to do is click one of these, and you can just bend it up. And then click this handle as well, and just bend it. So now, if we preview that, we should have a first ramp slow-mo. Now, in my personal opinion, I think that was a bit slow. Oh, we have to start again. No, I'm kidding. What we do is we can either select these 2 keyframes again and drag them close together, but we don't want to do that in there. We can do it in here. We can select these 2, and remember, be careful not to go like that because you screw it up. Just click, shift click, now we've got those 2 selected. Now we can grab it here and drag it in, but there's always a catch, guys. But make sure you don't just click, because look what's happening there. Oh my god, the computer's breaking. Okay, so Control Z that. What you want to do is click and then hold shift so it moves perfectly, so we don't break this. Oh, I'm not even holding it. so we don't break. Hold shift, so we don't break our roll away time. Because if we don't hold shift, I'll show you what happens. It's a common mistake. You know, you see it on YouTube, like videos. They're like, "Oh, my first ramp slow mo," and then they've got the ramp right, but then the roll away goes in fast forward because they haven't done this part right. So we'll just have a look. So just be aware of that and try to avoid that from happening. See, and then we fast forward again. So yeah, we just want to avoid that from happening. But now we've got our basic ramp done. You know, we can select these two, make sure we hold shift, bring it, make it smaller, make it wider, and when we get it, I'm not holding shift very well. When we get it there, we, you know, once we've got it about there, we can just play around and just bend these. You know, there's a few different kinds of ramps. Some of people like it like this, you know, real sharp. We'll have a look at that. So it's just real, like, real sharp. Or some people like it, you know, favoring one side. So we'll have a look at that. Now this is just our play area. So if we just move these in here, it's only going to play what's in this area. So as we can see, it goes zoom off the cliff where those are intersecting right there. So there's our time, and then we're going really slow, and then we're speeding back up, speeding back up, speeding back up, speeding up. Now we can do that the other way. We slow down, slow down, slow down, and then we just go back to normal speed. You know, it's really, really, really like the first time you do it, it's so much fun just to play around. That looked kind of cool with the bricks. It's just like amazing how much fun it is just to play around. But I think that pretty much covers everything. You know, that's just how you ramp it in After Effects. You know, you can just play around, do anything you want. It's just so much fun. And then yeah, just toggle that on and off to get back into this mode. I think that's all I want to say in this tutorial. And I'm gonna, obviously we've got the clip in here. Now what do we do? How do we get it out? I'll make another video for exporting DV or HDV, so there should be links on the screen now if I'm smart enough to figure that out. But yeah, click either DV or HDV, and I'm gonna make another tutorial on how to ramp slow-mo noise, like, you know, when someone goes oh my god. You know, you want to ramp the noise. Every video does it. You know, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, one last thing is, depending on the sort of trick your skater's doing, like ramp slow-mos work best with sort of fisheye, rail and stair tricks, because you know, you're really close up to the action. You know, it looks really good slow-mo, like stair tricks as well. You know, long lens, you can do it, but you know, it doesn't look as good. But you know, some tricks as well, there's ways you sort of always want to kind of ramp it. Like what I was talking about, what I was talking about before is how you want to bend it, like favoring one side or sharp. You know, some tricks you want to do it differently. But you know, I'll leave that for you guys to figure out. One other thing, if you go back out here and then you click the graph and you go, hey, there's nothing there, it's because you have to select one of these to go into it. Because if you got none selected, you don't have the clip selected, so it just doesn't go in there. So you got to select one of them. Yeah, hopefully I didn't miss anything. So yeah, just post up a video response, even like chuck them up of your ramp slow-mos, and I'll critique you and tell you what I think of it. I'll tell you whose is the best, or whatever you guys want. Yeah, sorry, I read, all of you send me comments and stuff. I do read them all. Like, you nag me to make the tutorials, but I don't reply to as many as I would like, but I do, you know, read them all. It's just as annoying when, you know, I post a video and I say, oh, filmed with Canon HV40 and editing blah blah blah, and then they comment me and it's like, what did you film this with? And I post the song as well in the description. They go, oh, what's the song? But yeah, hopefully you guys won't do that to me. But anyway, yeah, post up your video responses. I'd love to see them. And yeah, happy ramping. See you.